So some people have said that I should try to do vlogs, but I can't really do that because I'm just sitting here in my room all day. So I thought this would be a good chance to show off some of my retro game collection. I guess that kind of counts as a vlog a little bit, but I've got some pretty cool stuff here. First of all, I think I should start with the GameCube stuff. But first and foremost, before I get into the games, I actually have the original box, as you can see. I got the console in the box. It wasn't new in box, because that's probably $3,000 or something. But it was in the box, so I think that's really cool, personally. Fantastic games for an unbelievable system, which is still true to this day because a lot of people really love this console. I like it too, right? It's a cool console. But, yeah, so the games. I have quite a lot of them. First off, Chibi Robo. I'm a little proud of owning this one because it's, such a desired game for collectors. It goes for about $200 on eBay. It's basically one of those games that sold really badly when it first came out and then got a huge fan base later on. So it's a very high demand game. I would recommend just play these games on emulators instead of getting the $200 copies because it's kind of a waste of money in my opinion. I probably should have not done it. But to be fair, this was actually a gift. I didn't spend money on this one, but that just goes for GameCube games in general. It's probably not worth spending all the money to get those games because they're very expensive, a lot of them. Self-explanatory Namco collection, just like any other Namco collection. Pikmin, I don't think it's as good as the second game. I do think it has a better story, but gameplay-wise, I definitely prefer the second game. This is a very fun game. It's the closest you're going to get to GTA on GameCube. I believe this case is a reproduction case because it is very low quality, but the disc is all that matters, right? Even though I haven't really followed that mindset because I wanted all these games in box. Pikmin 2, a lot of fun. I haven't honestly been a huge fan of the Pikmin games. I just don't think they're my style of gameplay specifically. It's a little hard for me to get into, but I respect what it's trying to do. I think the gameplay is pretty unique, at least for its time. And apparently, this is a rare version of the box art. It usually isn't like this, I think. Rayman 3, I honestly didn't get very far in it. I didn't like it as much as the first two Rayman games. It's said to be the best one by some people, but personally, I just can't really see it. But it's still good for what it is. I just wish I didn't spend $50 on it. Okay, so Monkey Ball 1 and 2, there's a tragic story to these games. I like them. I would play them more if it wasn't for the fact that the freaking disc stops working after 10 minutes I put them in the console. I don't know what it is. Both of these games, 1 and 2, they just stop working after 10 minutes. And it must be something to do with the disc. It's definitely not the console, because not every game does that on the console. But it is unfortunate, because I've had some fun with these, but I just can't play it very much, because it keeps, malfunctioning. I'm not sure what to say about this one. Gameplay-wise, it's not great, but I think the characters in it are really interesting, and it obviously had a lot of passion put into it. I just think maybe it didn't have a great budget, because the gameplay is pretty repetitive, and it is pretty short, but it is a decent game. This game is very replayable. I've probably beat it about 11 times, I'd say. It's really easy to go back to, and there's a lot of stuff to collect, so it's a great game for completionists. Fun game, not something I can play for, hours on end, but it's nice to go in and, knock out 30 minutes. Knock out in a literal sense. It's pretty fun for what it is. I was not a huge fan of this game. I remember getting stuck on the second level and I just kind of gave up. It has a great art style. Maybe it's just not my type of game, like I've said before. But if you like platformers and you like challenging platformers, more specifically, this is a good one. I just think maybe it was a little bit too hard for me. I don't know. I'm more of a casual guy myself. I also spent $50 on this, and I also kind of regret it. But that's just what happens when you buy these games in box, I don't know why these were in the stack. These aren't games, but it is a really good cartoon. I've enjoyed watching it. Okay, now it's time to get into the PS1 games. And I would like to clear up, I do have the consoles, but I just didn't really want to get them out, so they're just, somewhere else, but I do have them. Need for Speed 3, I got this, because I had a Wii U growing up, and my favorite game on the Wii U was Need for Speed Most Wanted U. I played the hell out of it. It was really fun, and the disc actually ended up breaking because I scratched it so much, like I did with half my games back then. I will say it's not as good as the Wii U game, but it is still really fun. The music is a lot better than in the Wii U game. I will say that. I think they kind of screwed up the music later on, from what I've heard. Atari game collection, pretty self-explanatory. Another Atari game collection. This game has an interesting backstory. There was this dude I watched on YouTube. He did these really funny game reviews. And one of these videos was called Plucky's Derp's Adventure, where he basically just roasted this game for having bad game design. And I got this game specifically because I was curious to play it myself. And he was definitely right. It's not a very good game, but I just it's one of those things where I just enjoy having it. It's kind of a novelty. I bought this game new in box. It was still in the wrapper. And I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of it, mostly because I don't know how to actually fucking play it properly. The gameplay is very confusing to me, and the manual didn't really help ease that much. So I'm sure if I actually knew how to play it, I would like it, but I just can't get my head behind it. There's just so much crap you gotta do in it. Rayman, the original Rayman. Now, I actually beat the Atari Jaguar version of this game without the cheat codes, but for this specific version, I had to use the cheat codes because it's just too damn hard, you know? I'm not gonna spend 8 hours a day just to beat the game properly. It still holds up as a really good platformer though, even if some of the game design aspects are pretty flawed. Very colorful graphics especially. Rayman 2, no, I did not get this at Redbox. I just used a Redbox case because I bought the disc specifically. I'll say this. It's not a good port of the game, but it is a good game in general. This port though is not great. It's pretty much 50% of the entire game. They cut out a lot of stuff. Gubble. This is a very bizarre game. It's essentially a maze game. You play as this alien, and you ride like screwdrivers, and you try to take out all the nails in each level. Now, this is a specifically bad version of the game as well, because for some reason, the developers thought it was a great idea to not allow you to save at all. That's right, you cannot save at all in this game. You have to beat all, like, 150 levels in one sitting. And besides that, they also removed a lot of the levels in this game compared to the PC version, which I also played, and I actually beat that one. But, I mean, if you're looking for something really weird, I would recommend this game, but don't get this version. Get the PC one on Steam. Okay, this is really interesting. So, everybody knows LSD Dream Emulator, and obviously, I'm not spending $3,000 to get the Japanese version of the game, which is the only version that exists. So, I bought this reproduction copy online from this dude, and he said that it would work, or that it may work with this PSX change disc. So that's what I did. I bought this disc, inserted it, and then I put this disc in after, and it did not work, unfortunately. I tried it a few times, but I cannot play it. And I don't know if it's something to do with the disc itself, but whatever it is, it was pretty disappointing, because I really thought it would be cool to, play it on the actual console. But, I could have returned it, I just chose not to, and I think even though it doesn't work, it's a really cool thing to own, because it just looks really cool. Okay, now it's time for the miscellaneous stuff. So, first off, I got this Gamecom, and this is essentially considered to be the worst gaming console in the history of gaming. The screen is very hard to see, it's black and white, it's very laggy, the games suck, but the reason I got it is because usually it sells for about $200, but I found someone selling it for around $50. So I guess it was a situation where the person didn't know what they had, so I ended up getting it because it was just such a good deal. And unfortunately, it worked in the beginning, but it stopped working later on. which is what happens when you buy old shit like this. You know, everything breaks eventually. I had 2 games for it. This Sonic game, which was total crap, and this Jeopardy game, or Wheel of Fortune, which was, Wheel of Fortune. There's nothing to say about that. But it really was cool to use this. It just sucks that it broke so early on. As you can see, it won't turn on, and there are batteries in it. I tried switching out the batteries, but the thing is just dead, so it sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, this is probably one of the most interesting things I own. It is called the R-Zone, and I ordered it. It was like $30. It came in this lunchbox, so I got a lunchbox for free on top of it. And it's essentially a very bad attempt at virtual reality. It was made in the 90s, and it is a LCD-based game system, which only makes it that much worse. The games are very simple and pretty boring, I must say, but I'm going to show you how this thing works, because it's pretty hilarious to see how far these game companies back then were willing to go to invent the new thing. Okay, I'm going to get this thing on now. So how it works is that the screen is up here. This is what actually displays the game. But obviously you're not going to be able to see that. So you pull down this little piece of plasticky glass thing, and you basically just put it on like this. And hang on a second. You do that, and then you turn on the game with the on button, which for some reason is on the controller itself. And then, as you can see, the game is displaying right up there, but it's reflecting at me through this piece of glass. So I can just imagine the poor kids who bought this thing in the 90s, thinking it was the next best thing, bringing it to school and going, "Hey guys, look at this cool thing I got! Oh yeah, this is awesome!" They must have lost a lot of friends. I really do feel bad for them. Yeah, apparently this thing gives you like headaches and it ruins your vision. So I don't play it too much, but I bring it out every once in a while when I'm bored. It's just something kind of fun to do. I only have one game for it. It's a Star Wars game, but like I said, none of the games on this console are any good. It's all just bullshit LCD garbage you'd find on a calculator, you know. Let me turn it off. Turn off? It's not turning off for some reason. Okay, whatever. I'll just leave that, I guess. Saving the best for last, I got this really ancient game from probably the late 70s, early 80s, I'd say. It's very unique how it works. So you move this tank along the bottom and you shoot projectiles, and everything is done with rolling tape images. None of this is an actual LCD screen, which makes the game that much more impressive. Now, unfortunately, try to guess what I'm about to say. Try to guess. That's right, it doesn't work. It doesn't. I got it. It worked for like the first few days and it just stopped working. So that's what happens when you buy shit like this, you know. You can't expect it to work forever, but it's still a cool thing to own. And additionally, I would like to show off these VHS tapes I got of Back to the Future. This one is new in box. Now, I have a VHS player, but it doesn't work. So I can't watch this. And I'll tell you why I know it doesn't work is because I bought a VHS of John Carpenter's The Thing. Pretty much one of the best alien movies ever. And I put the VHS tape in, and I started hearing banging noises coming from the VHS player. So I took the VHS out, and there was a piece of tape sticking out from the tape. So I guess it just ruins every single tape you put in it. So it's definitely not a functional player, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to show. There are a few more things. I have a Game Boy Pocket. I don't know where it is. I have an original DS. I don't know where it is. But I think this was the most interesting stuff. Retro games have always been kind of a big part of my life. I've always been interested in them. And I'm glad I was able to get my hands on some of this stuff, you know. But yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else to say, so, yeah.